Welcome back. The New York Professional Advisors for Community Entrepreneurs, a nonprofit organization dedicated to stimulating job creation and economic opportunity, has been selected to receive PayPal's $20,000 Community Impact Grant. Ibrahima Souare, Executive Director for NYPACE, joins me to discuss this effort. I want to thank you so much for joining me.
No, thank you so much for having me.
Now, can you just tell us a little bit more about your organization, NYPACE, and its overall mission?
Yeah, sure. NYPACE, New York Professional Advisor Community Entrepreneurs. We're a small but growing nonprofit organization based here in New York City. The mission of the organization is to really be able to foster job creation and economic opportunity by focusing on underserved entrepreneurs and underrepresented areas. The way that we do this is that we mobilize highly skilled, competent volunteer professionals that go out to support growth-ready entrepreneurs that we recruit to participate within our programs.
Now, I want to say congratulations because that's an amazing, accomplishment. Can you tell us a little bit more about the inspiration behind partnering with PayPal and their Community Impact Grant and how, just receiving this $20,000, just like what that experience was like?
Yeah. Well, first, the way we look at this is an investment within NYPACE, our mission, our vision, and within our program and what we're trying to do to really support growth-ready entrepreneurs that are underserved and underrepresented. PayPal, as we all know, being a fintech company, their mission and what products they bring to the marketplace centrally focuses on supporting small businesses. And there is an alignment with what we're trying to do on that front. So with this investment, we're essentially steering it right within our programmatic areas. We have three main areas. One is within our flagship 8-week program, which is our most highly impactful program. Secondly is a truncated version of that, which we call the Entrepreneurial Day of Service. So we choose sort of half a day. And then we have this comprehensive workshop learning series. So each of these programmatic areas look to be able to provide training, advisement, tools, and resources, and connecting these entrepreneurs to other folks that have the skills.
Now, how will this $20,000 impact the work that you're currently doing? And what does that look like? We hear often that communities or organizations will get grant money, and we just think that the money is just thrown at these organizations. But how does it actually impact the work that you're doing?
Yeah, great question. I mean, for NYPACE, again, the way we look at this is an investment. I recently had taken helm as the ED for the organization, about to be about 2 years into the role. And one of my commitments to the challenge in this leadership is really to diversify what NYPACE is doing and being able to partner with other corporations like a PayPal. So last year was the first time that PayPal had selected NYPACE to participate in a community impact grant. And it was just in alignment on that end. So with this investment, again, we're utilizing it to go directly within our programmatic areas, make some additional enhancements so that we can reach and recruit more entrepreneurs that can be able to be aligned to create jobs and have access to economic opportunity.
Now, throughout my work, this is really interesting to see, but I've noticed that there's just a bigger effort to help smaller businesses, to help entrepreneurs of color or entrepreneurs from underserved backgrounds. Can you just talk a little bit more about the role that these small businesses play in job creation and community finances?
Yeah, as we probably will be aware of, is that small businesses are the economic backbone for us. They represent nearly half of jobs in the country. At NYPACE, we, again, within our mission, focus on really helping these entrepreneurs on that front. Small businesses, knowing that they account for nearly half of all jobs, we believe that sort of a theory of change is that if we can identify growth-ready entrepreneurs that have the wherewithal, that have the proven market a track record on that end, but they need support to elevate and scale, then we can be able to, position them for greater sort of success and sustainability. So that's what we're focused on that front for us here.
Now, I definitely want to take this moment to highlight the Bronx, of course. Can you talk about, Bronx entrepreneurs, what you've seen in your work, and, why is it particularly important? We know the Bronx is one of the most underserved boroughs, in New York City. So can you talk a little bit more about your work with this borough and, why it's important to kind of promote, small businesses and entrepreneurs here?
Yeah. This has been both a personal and professional passion of mine and a commitment. Over the last 12, 13 years, I've been in this space of community economic development. In fact, I am an alum of Lehman College. I call the Bronx my second home, being the fact that I immigrated from West Africa and Guinea. Knowing that I grew up in the Bronx and can really be able to relate and understand the economic sort of I call it a retardation, the progress of communities of color where I come from, more of a reason why I commit to this work. I think when it comes to the Bronx, namely, and looking at small businesses, NYPACE is actually doing more of a concerted effort to reach more entrepreneurs in the Bronx. Because when we talk about low to moderate income communities, when we talk about under-resourced entrepreneurs, when we talk about those that are being delayed from having access and opportunity, you can find those right here in the Bronx. So with that being said, that's one of the reasons why I'm committed to this work, to be able to help more entrepreneurs, because if you help entrepreneurs, they will be creating more jobs in the community, which is going to the residents and families and creating economic growth and sustainability.
Now, I definitely want to highlight, you mentioned that there were different ways that you kind of approach this. How do you match, your resources with a specific entrepreneur? How do you know what these entrepreneur needs? Because everyone's at a different place in their journey. So how do you approach that?
Oh, beautiful question. I think that's one of the reasons why that attracted me to NYPACE, right? Not only the mission, but the program model, right? The program model is essentially bespoke for each entrepreneur rather than it being focused on a sort of curriculum base. In prior roles that I've held, we would always plan around developing a curriculum-based program where every entrepreneur, whether you're at early startup, mid sort of level, whether you're in different sort of industries, everyone is learning the same thing. That's generally how it's operated. But here at NYPACE, we ensure that each entrepreneur feels that they are being matched with the right skill set of individuals that have the competency to support that need. So we not only recruit growth-ready entrepreneurs, but we also recruit some of the top professionals from some of the top lending corporations, whether it be on the private equity side, accounting side, management consultant side, private equity. And we bring those individuals that in their day jobs, that's their skills. And then now they're offering skills-based volunteerism and being matched to tackle strategies and operation and price modeling and preparing for pitch to receive debt acquisition or some sort of financing support. So that's sort of what we do in a very unique and intentional way for entrepreneurs.
Now, I understand there's something called the Entrepreneurship Day of Service. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes. That's one of our newest programs. The past couple of years, we had initially piloted the program, and the sort of the auspices of that was to let's start off with knowing that there are certain entrepreneurs and volunteers that won't have the ability to commit to 8 weeks, but they want to offer their skills. They want to support entrepreneurs. And on the other end, the entrepreneurs also want to support, but they're trying to run their business and ensure that their bottom line is sustainable. So with the Entrepreneur Day of Service, what we've done is that we would select an entire half day, connect a cohort of entrepreneurs, sort of a 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 or 3, to tackle a specific area that is sort of short term. Maybe they have some legal questions or issues. We connect them with one of the top legal firms in New York City. If they have questions around, hey, we're trying to hit the ground running and expand in this new market, we try to create that sort of short-term engagement on that front. So that's what the Entrepreneur Day of Service focuses on. And of course, PayPal has been able to assist us on that end with their Skills for Good initiative through their community impact team.
Now, I understand there may be some opportunities for volunteers and recruitment may be coming up soon. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Oh, yes. So every year through the 8-week program, we have 3 cohorts. One in the spring, the summer, in fact, tomorrow, that would be closing out. And now we're getting ready to recruit for our fall. So if there's any entrepreneurs that are out there that are interested, we're getting ready now to recruit for our 8-week program in the fall.
That's amazing. And what are the eligibility requirements?
Yes. So that's another area for NYPACE that we are very clear and intentional about. One, we want to make sure that you're growth ready. And what does that mean? meaning that you've been in our place for at least a couple of years, right? Meaning that you've been able to get to the marketplace and you're actually selling your product or your services, and folks are engaging with you. We typically like to say that the ideal sort of entry level is that you have a gross revenue of at least $75,000 in gross sales, and then upwards of $1 million. Most of our business are somewhere between 350 to 400,000, and are also creating jobs. In addition to that, we prefer if a firm is, or rather identify as a person of color and or woman. Those are two of the fastest growing demographic, and NYPACE is focusing on that end. And then after that, there is a formal application process that folks would have to go through, and happy to share sort of the link to that for that application cycle.
Yes, I was just going to say, where can people go to learn more,
Yeah.
to figure out if this is the right fit for them, and where can they sign up?
Yes. So if you go to www.nypace.org and you hover over to our program section, you'll be able to essentially see all of our upcoming programs, from the workshops to also the 8-week, and you submit an application. We actually did a full sort of rebranding and new website to make it a little bit more easier and user-friendly to navigate on our website. So again, www.nypace.org.
Now, last question, what do you hope to see for the future, regarding small businesses and supporting entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So one of the things that myself, along with my esteemed board of directors and staff team, we have actually put together a strategic growth plan over the next 3 years. And we're sort of coining it as Operation Doing More While Reaching More. And part of that goal is, how do we take the current program that has impact, that has results, and reach more entrepreneurs and be able to recruit more volunteers? How do we take the programmatic aspect that we also have to be able to comprehensively, again, have these great impacts?
With that being said, I want to thank you so much for joining us and kind of sharing a little bit more about your community. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
We've come to the end of our show today. I'd like to thank all of our guests for joining us and you, the viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the recable cast at 5 and 10 p.m. on Optimum Channel 67 and Verizon Fios Channel 33, or watch anytime on the web at BronxNet.org. You can catch a brand new episode of Open with Darren Jaime on Wednesday and with Rena Valentine on Friday. I'm Kibin Alleyne, wishing you and yours safety and wellness now and always. See you next time.